Hello and a warm welcome to News Across Nigeria, where we bring you all the news-making pieces of information from across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. Thank you for joining us. I am Olusegun Mimiko. And just to let you know what we'll be doing on the show today, we'll be touching on the southwest to the northern part of the country. In Ondo State, the government has begun construction of a 4 billion Naira water scheme. And straight into that story, if the actions of the Ondo State government is anything to go by, then the lack of potable water for the people of Ilaje local government area, the riverine oil-producing community in the southern part of Ondo State, will soon become a thing of the past. And we begin in Ondo State, in the southern part of the country, the southwest that is. And if the actions of the Ondo State government is anything to go by, then the lack of potable water for the people of Ilaje local government area, the riverine oil-producing community in the southern part of the state, will soon become a thing of the past. This is because the state government has flagged off the construction of a 4 billion Naira water scheme project that will help supply 2 million gallons of water per day to residents of the area. Addressing the gathering at the flag-off ceremony in Ondo State, the governor, Olusegun Mimiko, said that the era in which people depend on water from rain, rivers, and other unclean sources for consumption has finally come to an end. The chairman of the Ondo State Oil Producing Areas Development Commission, Johnson Ogunyemi, is in charge of government's intervention agency that awarded the contract and said the project is the first of its kind in the area. He commended the contractors for the level of work done and the people of the community for their support since the project began. The water scheme project, which is in 2 phases, is awarded to 2 different contractors, and according to the state governor, Dr. Mimiko, the first phase will extend water supply from Aboto to Igbokoda and then to Ogbonla, while the second one will extend supply to other parts of the local government. In Oyo State, the wife of the state governor, Mrs. Florence Ajimobi, is proving that she is supporting all the intents of the administration. Mrs. Ajimobi has appealed to women and the entire workforce of the state to exercise patience and reinforce their understanding in the delayed payment of their salaries. She's also assured them of prompt release when the new allocation from the federal government arrives. Mrs. Ajimobi made the appeal after a joint prayer session for women from all the 33 local government areas of Oyo, which took place at the Government House in Ibadan.
Started paying salary for April, and I know it's just a phase. It's a phase, it will come and go. It is a sacrifice we all have to bear for this country to change. We want change in Nigeria. The change has come, but for change to stay, we all have to have a form of sacrifice. So I think that is what we're all going through. If you look at other states, it is worse that some states are owing 9 months, some states are owing 13 months. So what we are owing is just 2 months. And I know His Excellency spoke a few days ago that by end of this month, they will clear all the deficit.
Mrs. Florence Ajimobi, wife of the Oyo State governor. Now, still in the southwest to Osun State, experts say until adequate attention is paid to the quality of healthcare delivery, Nigeria will continue to lose about $1 billion annually to medical tourism and the trend of brain drain of medical professionals. The issue was debated at a seminar organized by the National Association of Resident Doctors of Nigeria in Ile-Ife, Osun State. The medical experts want the federal government to invest more in the retraining of doctors to meet the global practice of medicine for optimal delivery.
I can tell you that all of the programs they have, which we call residency training program, is very ad hoc. They need to have a strategic redevelopment of that program, adequately funding. Although I don't believe that funds is necessarily, the issue, but more like there has been no systematic planning to ensure that quality and efficiency and skills are built into the system. So I think that government should do that. They should make sure that our health planners and as well as our teaching hospitals take this program very, very seriously, and they allocate resources for the teaching and training of residents in the hospitals, for their equipment and for research, and so on and so forth. You'll be surprised to know that apart from UCH and Lagos University Teaching Hospital, maybe, there are no other hospitals in this country with a library for resident doctors who are trained to learn from, to even sit down and read during hours or when they're in the hospital. So basically, I just provide these services, and how can you continue to train doctors to provide services and then not train them on how they can improve their services?
From the southwest to the south-south, human rights activists are calling on the state government to urgently set up a public defender's agency to look into cases of extrajudicial killing in the state. The human rights activists say that the absence of justice for family members of victims has encouraged the disturbing trend to continue.
The dust raised by protests over the latest case of alleged extrajudicial killing of 26-year-old Benson Obode by the police in Benin City, Ondo State, is yet to settle. While the family members of the deceased are still pursuing the case with the best of their ability, human rights campaigners are also calling on the state governor to do something urgently.
The issue of extrajudicial killing, as a matter of fact, is one big issue that I think the Ondo State government need to come out very strongly to focus on. Again, that makes me to remind the Ondo State governor, who a few years ago, when my very good friend Comrade Olaito Yerinde was assassinated, the governor responded by saying that he was going to encourage the state government to establish the Defender Right Agency, which will help the poor people to able to secure justice when their right is trampled on. But unfortunately, as we speak, that agency haven't been established.
The police, on its part, reiterates it has nothing to hide, especially in the recent case of late Benson Obode.
A 5-man panel of investigation was set up, and this 5-man panel of investigation cut across every department in the headquarters here. It's headed by an assistant commissioner of police. The mandate is very simple. Go get to the root of the matter. Let's know what happened and who did what. And as I speak, investigation has started in earnest.
But while the police continue with its investigations, civil society groups in Ondo State are seeking collaboration with the Public Complaints Commission towards entrenching the rule of law and human rights protection.
The protection of the human rights. Of course, I'm happy to tell you that the restoration of the dignity of man by strict adherence to the rule of law is our mandate here. So in this place, you have justice for the people, unrestrained and undenied. So if that is what you seek as a civil society, you have come to the right place.
It is hoped that the outcome of the activism and advocacy by these right groups will not only bring an end to the cases of unlawful killings in the state, but also bring about a more informed populace.
You're watching news across Nigeria. Still to come, a torrential rainfall in Yobe State, that's the northeast, leaves hundreds homeless. Please join us again.